Hi, my name is Israel Vasquetelle, and welcome to 3300 and Climbing presents The Turntable, a roundtable discussion with entertainment and music industry students, artists, and anyone that has a vested interest in the music industry. So we have recording artist and songwriter Lévie with us today, and the first thing I want to talk about is music consumption, because we're all fans of music. So I like to find out, do you have a preferred platform to listen to music with Spotify and Tidal and SoundCloud and Apple Music? It almost seems like we have a war going on between the streaming platforms. So where do you consume music?
I would say it's a bit of a mixture between Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube, and SoundCloud too. I do listen to a lot of tracks on SoundCloud. Usually with like Spotify, I like to discover music because they have really great playlists and everything. So I usually use that. I'll go to listen to their playlist, follow them along. But like if I'm looking for a specific song, I'll go to Apple Music because it's a cheap family plan that we have going on. So it's really nice. You get all the songs you want. And then I watch a lot of YouTube, music videos, because that's where honestly most people watch it. Listen to music is actually YouTube. So. I don't know. And I like SoundCloud a lot because it's where a lot of newer artists who, they're getting started, and that's where they're posting new music. So I do like that format too. And so it's mixed.
And what do you feel is most effective for you in getting your music out?
YouTube. Yeah, people want to see something. People nowadays, a video, you can get a really good camera. Your phone is a great camera. So it's like people want to see something along with the music, Tell a story in a different way too, It's like you told a story sonically, now tell it visually too. Indeed.
So it'd be interesting to kind of go around the table and just learn. I don't know if we have any evangelists for any one particular streaming platform.
Spotify.
But the other thing that's kind of interesting, and I'd like to also know if this influences your decisions. I mean, we have, as I mentioned, this war, it seems, and the weapon, it seems more and more, is exclusivity. So I'd love to kind of just go around and get your thoughts. What do you think, Danny?
Well, as I shouted out before, Spotify. I'm definitely a huge fan of that, just because one, I've had it for so long. I've had it since 2011, and I have all my playlists there.
That's like a century in internet time.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. So I've always had my playlist there. It's been something that I've stocked up over the ages, and I can go offline, which is like the huge feature that most of these platforms actually do allow you to do, but I've become so conformed in one way that hard to branch out and go to Apple Music, because I'm not going to pay both subscriptions. I don't have the family plan like you, so I'm not as lucky. But if I had to say, I honestly think each one, like Lévie says, serves a certain purpose. It depends what you're trying to get out of it, because I do go around like YouTube, and I do go around SoundCloud, because that's where I discover most of my music. That's how I like to branch out into different genres and different things and whatever I'm feeling. But like you said about exclusivity, that's a huge thing now. Like everything seems to be going exclusive. I'm sure you guys would agree with that. But it's like every now and every week or something like that, you see someone just releasing something on their own. Like Beyonce's got a new movie coming out on HBO or something like that.
Yeah. So what do you folks think?
I use Apple. I love Apple Music. They seem to nab all the exclusive deals, so I feel like where the music that I listen to, that's where Apple caters to that genre of music. So I just feel like I'm over exclusives, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I use Apple.
And I think I'm just old school, and I like iTunes.
Right.
It's super old school.
What is that, by the way?
I like to have the songs, know that I purchased them, that I own them maybe, and that they're there offline, online. I don't have to take an extra step, and I know I'm not wasting data to stream and things like that. So I primarily use that. I use Spotify a lot, and I remember when a friend first showed me Spotify, it sort of blew my mind, because I thought Spotify was just Pandora, another Pandora. And then I was like, wait a minute, you can get every song ever and even some live stuff or some stuff that, I didn't know.
Is this legal?
Is this legal? And then this is awesome.
Right.
So then I sort of so I do Spotify whenever I'm in like a Wi-Fi-ish area, but I rely on iTunes, the old-fashioned way.
Right.
Sort of.
And is anybody here lured in by exclusives? Nobody's really such a diehard fan, or is there an artist maybe that hasn't done an exclusive that would draw you in if one of these streaming services locked that particular release in? What do you think?
I gave in and I subscribed to Tidal when Yeezy Season 3 came out, when he streamed live from Madison Square Garden. But when Yeezy 4 came out, I didn't subscribe to, my subscription was over and I didn't resubscribe because eventually it's going to be available on YouTube. I've become numb to exclusives basically, so I'm going to stick with my Apple.
Like she said, basically, I feel like these exclusive deals are only exclusives until they see that they can't really work out in the market and they need to spread out and go other places. If Kanye puts out his exclusive and then sees that only maybe 100,000 people are streaming it, you're gonna need a bigger market. You're gonna need more people coming to that. So he'll go to Spotify after 2 weeks, or he'll go to Pandora or whatever that he sees he can make his money. So
indeed, and that's clearly what he did with Pablo, and it seemed to have kind of created a little bit of animosity among some of his fans. I think, as a matter of fact, I remember hearing rumbles about a lawsuit right afterwards. So what do we think? I mean, is this something that eventually is going to kind of churn away those diehard fans where they're feeling burnt because they signed on for a subscription that was exclusive and the next it's available everywhere else?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people were mad with Frank Ocean when he was, just Apple Music. And I mean, that whole deal was weird because now he, got released from his label and everything. But that's something that I really appreciate about Spotify. They're not about the exclusives. Spotify doesn't do exclusive deals like that. They're not shelling out money for these artists. And they, their CEO preaches exclusive is going to kill the industry. Exactly. Because, I mean, what's the point of having exclusive? I don't want to have to pay for every single different subscription, It's do what you do it well. And then if I like what you do, I will go to you,
Indeed.
That's the way I see it.
So in many ways, it's kind of the fact that, that they're taking the money because these companies are putting money on the table.
Right.
And it's hard to say no because we all know that, streaming something is clearly different from buying something. And you mentioned ownership.
Right.
So in many ways, it's one of these things, do they make their pockets happy or do they make their fans happy? And eventually, I guess, the fans are going to have to win out on that tug of war.
Yeah, I would think so. And to your question, is there an artist that would draw me to an exclusive? I don't think there is for me personally. It's not worth it, And like Danny said, I think eventually it will be everywhere.
Indeed.
And if not everywhere, somewhere else.
Yeah. Honestly, with the exclusives, I saw when Yeezy did it. I saw everywhere. That's when pirating starts coming back up again because people are gonna be I'm not gonna pay for this. I'm gonna go find it somewhere else. You know?
Right.
They'll start going. They'll start posting stuff on YouTube. You'll find it somewhere on the internet.
Sacred.
Yeah.
It's the internet. You're not gonna be able to keep it exclusive. So it's you can find it somewhere else. So that's where it's going to start coming back up again, as if they keep doing that,
Indeed.
And we're already.
Sorry, you go ahead.
It's okay. We're already asking fans to invest in the music industry. We're coming from a time where kids used LimeWire or Napster and did not have to pay for music, and now we want them to buy streaming services. But wait, your favorite artist isn't on this one, so get this one too. Like you said, it's just going to generate more piracy, and it's going to kill the music industry.
Absolutely. No, I think you brought up a great point that I think the convenience, if I can subscribe to Spotify and get everything that I need, that convenience, in my opinion, you're going to get good quality and all that stuff, and it's going to outweigh, the risk you might take with piracy, all that stuff. But if they start making it inconvenient again, where I have to go over here, then you're just going to be I'll just go to Kick-Ass Torrents or whatever,
Indeed.
So that was my argument, or why I was in favor of Spotify. You pay your fee, it's easy, it's going to be good quality, it's coming from the source, it's not going to be some weird download. But yeah, if they start messing with that, I think it won't be good.
Indeed. And as a side note, I remember earlier we were talking and you mentioned DRM, digital rights management.
Yes.
And that seemed to be, for many people, a turnoff because you would buy a file and then you would be restricted. Even if you legally, clearly obtained it, you would be restricted as to what you could do with it. And it seems like we're almost back to that with a different twist.
Absolutely. I think that streaming is like the ultimate digital rights management because, like we were saying before, you no longer own the music. You used to go to the store, you buy a CD, it's always there, you know?
Right.
Now you're essentially paying for a license to be allowed to listen to music. So that one day it could be there, one day it's not there. You have no control over it.
Taylor
It's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Taylor Swift example, she took all her music off of Spotify. Like, what if you're a huge Taylor Swift fan and you don't like have her music? There it's gone. Like all that is
one
gone
day it's
now.
there, one day it's
Yeah,
gone. You're still
exactly.
paying your subscription fee.
Exactly.
But
You
And
don't
my
have
thing
any
too-
Taylor.
It's like when you're that big of a fan, when I'm that big of a fan of an artist, I go out and I buy the CD. You know, like I want it. You know, like I want to own it. Like I still like having like a physical CD.
So for those folks
know?
that don't know what a CD is, you want to...
A CD is like this circular thing that just does magic, pretty much. It's like you put it in somewhere and it's magic.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. You never know. And now we have a special treat. It's Lévie performing Paralyzed.
Butterflies. Every time you touch me, I feel alive. Give me your love and I'll be in paradise. Say you love me, say you're mine forevermore. This disease I have inside, my beating heart, my broken mind. My head is screaming nevermore, but your lips, baby, I adore. My obsession's losing track of what is real, pain and black. My head is screaming nevermore, no, no. And I'm paralyzed. I'm drunk in love, your love is mine. And I'm hypnotized, 'cause your love and baby so hard to find. In your eyes, I see a million little lies. My sacrifice can't be another story. No, I'm sorry, I just can't love you anymore. No, no. This disease I have inside, my beating heart, my broken mind. My head is screaming nevermore, but your lips, baby, I adore. My obsession's losing track of what is real, pain and black. My head is screaming nevermore, no, no. And I'm paralyzed. I'm drunk in love, your love is mine. And I'm hypnotized, 'cause your love and baby so hard to find. In your eyes, my addiction, my affliction, premonition, strange ambitions, situation, this obsession, heart is broken, chain reaction.